blast off. Welcome to the 159th episode of the Korea podcast. I'm your host Jack, located in Ulsan, South Korea. I can barely see. I'm so tired. My eyes are on the verge of collapsing. I've been practicing my shut-eye for the past 5 or 6 hours or something. I don't know, since 6 p.m. So it's been 4 hours. Welcome to the Korea podcast. The Korea podcast is a place on which I talk about anything and everything related to living and working in South Korea, as well as the rest of the Asian surroundings, or anything, the regions surrounding the South Korean peninsula. The podcast is sponsored by Shane English, the one and only, the best language school in South Korea. If you are in the business, or if you're looking for to start your very own language school here in South Korea, then make sure to get in touch with me. The franchise has been around for 40 years. We're established in 11 different countries, and it's a turnkey business. It's ready to go. So get in touch with me and we'll set you up. On today's podcast, we're going to talk about all kinds of stuff, man. There's a lot of stuff to talk about, but we're going to start off with switching music first. That's what I'm going to do. As soon as I find it, here's my, oh yeah, there you go. There you go. We're gonna start off with where the cars. So the cars, the cars that everybody loves to see and chat. Actually, I'm gonna start off with seeing if the sound is okay. Yeah. Sounds all good. What else do I need to check? I need to check my Kakao text messages, because I think somebody messaged something which I didn't respond to. No, of no importance. Alrighty, so we're moving on to the whole car shebang dilly doom. Oh, I gotta change my. There you go. Live chat. Why isn't YouTube? What are you doing? Live chat. Anybody in live chat? No, nobody. Yes, somebody? It feels like there is somebody. I think. We try. Why am I seeing a message there when there is no message? Is there a message? Did somebody leave a message? So weird. Anyway, alrighty. Moving right along. Never mind me today. Cars. This dude, parking lot. I have no idea what happened to this guy here, but it's clear that he's like out of his element. He's out of his element, this dude. Kind of drifted off into, I don't know, into somewhere, into a place where he shouldn't be in. This guy, what the bloody heck? Is that a Porsche? That's a Porsche. Well, then it's warranted. Then, if it's a Porsche, you can do whatever the heck you want, including parking right across from, it seems like, an entrance or exit to some other area. Why the heck not? This is quite ingenious. He's covering, maybe this helps preventing accidents. He's covering half the crosswalk here, or not the crosswalk, half the pedestrian crossing, with this big ass sticking out. So that works for this guy, and also works for this guy to be parked. No idea where. What is that? A bike lane? But this is a weird white lane. I guess it's supposed to prevent cars from running people over as they cross the street. But yeah. This guy, we saw this guy last week, didn't we? Or maybe I just saw somewhere. I don't know. This guy, so this is a double lane, yeah? And this guy's parked on both of them. Because this is just in case one isn't enough. This is the same car from a different angle that we just looked at it here, right here. That's the one. That's the one. But I think this is like a shopping area. Not very busy, man. I don't know what you're complaining about. Don't complain. This, very, very good. Very good parking. Maybe that's this guy's car. This is the dude. He reserved his space here. He put up his placard saying, a poster saying, this is my space now, and parked his junk right underneath. And it's all good because he's parked there. This guy, I don't know. this is obviously a parking lot, and there is a line here. Summer Bitch Festival. Can't miss that, man. You gotta be there for that. That is wicked funny. Oh, okay. I got a message from chat, apparently disconnected, reconnected, whatever. Chat is back on, so feel free to chat. Oh, make sure to smash up the likes and subscribe to the channel if this is your first time to the channel, eh? Please do not step on the toilet seat. It's funny that these posters are still necessary. Not to mention that this person is squatting backwards, like, you know, the door is over here and your ass is sticking out the doorway. I don't know, there's so many things that are wrong with this picture. And there are no squatters. The only squatters you find in Korea are like somewhere in the back boonies of the nation. This has got to be the funniest thing ever. This dude, I don't know what he's trying to do, because this girl is obviously not sitting down. She's not ready to go. And this guy's just climbing. Maybe he's just exercising. Could just be that he's exercising. Illegally parked cars will be fine. No problem. They'll be okay. As long as you park them illegally, they'll be fine. See? No problemo. No problemo at all. So yeah. So we're gonna end it with that for the car parking madness. Alrighty. So what do we got today? So last week, or not last week, this over the weekend, President Biden, the US President Joe Biden, came to visit South Korea. I think he moved on to Japan right now, but he was here over the weekend, I believe. And apparently there was a bit of a problem with a couple of gents, oh my goodness, with a couple of gents working for him. What's happening? I'm so unorganized. U.S. Secret Service 2 sent home after incident in South Korea. So these dudes came over here, I guess, to like check out in Korea, make sure that there is no terrorists lurking about, you know, ready to pounce on the president as soon as he arrives, and apparently they got themselves booted out a day before. This is not very uncommon. So I mean, not that they got booted out, but that Weguks got in trouble with you know, locals here. So 2 Secret Service employees have been put on a plane back to the US after their involvement in an altercation in South Korea. The duo part of the advance team ahead of President Joe Biden's visit to the country were bar hopping in Seoul. Go figure, probably in Hongdae too, eh? On Thursday night, who goes bar hopping on Thursday, man? You do that on weekends, but I guess they couldn't because they were to be on duty on the weekend, so they were off. One of the employees is said to have got into a physical altercation with a local taxi driver. What happened? They probably were getting scammed, man. The taxi driver was overcharging, undercharging, probably not undercharging, overcharging, trying to screw them over. And this dude pulled an elephant on him. That was a funny thing I saw also. I don't want to see your elephant. No one was detained or arrested, but Seoul police investigated the incident. The agency is aware of an off-duty incident involving 2 employees, which may constitute potential policy violations. Anthony Guglielmi, a Secret Service spokesman, said in a statement. Guglielmi? What? Anthony G. He said both employees have been placed on administrative leave and their absence will have no impact on Mr. Biden's trip. There you go. And Mr. Biden came and went, and it's all good. It's Monday now. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it is the 23rd. The president's trip to Seoul is the first leg of a 4-day swing through Asia amid growing concern over saber rattling in the region by China and North Korea. There is a shitstorm brewing here in South Korea, or in Asia rather, not necessarily South Korea. But if China decides to take over Taiwan, then USA is gonna step in apparently, and then if USA steps in, then Pakistan is also gonna get its get frazzled, and the hell will break loose, and we'll be seeing nukes flying left and right. It's Armageddon, man. World War III, game over, peeps. Anyway, so these two dudes were booted out of Korea. And I guess just to pay, so this happened, when was this? 2 days ago. And a day later, US not considering adding South Korea to the Quad official. That's what you get, man. You throw our people out, we're gonna throw you out, or we're gonna prevent you from actually coming even in. What's the Quad, you might ask? That's a good question. I remember. We're in okay. The United States is not considering adding South Korea to the Washington-led Quad Security Forum, seen by many as a partnership to counter an assertive China, a senior US official reported said Sunday. Korea is supposed to be like, or North Korea is supposed to be the buffer zone between China and South Korea, I guess. So maybe that's why they're not including them in, but it just seems so funny, you know. 2 agents were kicked out, and they later, the states are saying, you know what, we're not including you in the Quad, man. You're out of the Quad. And so the following day, the Korean president was just like, you know what, forget all that. If Kim Jong-un, if USA is doing that, then, you know, I'm gonna start negotiating with Kim Jong-un just to show my allegiance to the US Army, to the US military complex and gov. I'm just gonna say, you know what, Mr. Un, you come, if you want something, you come talk to me. I'm not gonna be chasing your stupid ass anymore. So the age of appeasing North Korea is over, and any new talks between Seoul and Pyongyang must be initiated by North Korea leader Kim Jong-un, South Korea's new conservative president said Monday. Speaking exclusively to CNN in this media interview since taking office 2 weeks ago, Yoon said, I think the ball is in Chairman Kim's court. It is his choice to start a dialogue with us. Usually when a ball is in your court, that's a good thing, right? Because you're in control. So I don't know which one it is. Maybe this is just CNN spinning, you know, its language webs to make it look like the Korean president is weak and Kim Jong-un is strong. Who knows? I don't know. Whatever the case is, that's what's happening. First, 2 agents get kicked out. Then the state says, fuck you, Korea, you're not in the Quad. So the Korean press says, oh, damn, I better step up and, like, you know, tell Kim Jong-un to F off. You know, you come talk to me, I'm not chasing your ass anymore. So that's what's happening. That's what's happening on this front. Yeah. Transition to chat while I pull out my other junkity junk. Ding diddy ding ding ding. Bing bing. Nobody in the chat section? Nobody. Alrighty then. Moving right along. Politics is a convoluted game. Korea US get closer to currency swap deal after summit. So apparently we're going to see a dearly needed break. So Korea and the States have a currency swap where Korea or USA accepts Korean won in exchange for a bunch of US dollars, which is supposed to help Korea stabilize Korean economy, which is something that we dearly need. So that's going to happen again. The latest summit between the leaders of Korea and the United States has raised expectations that the 2 allies will soon sign a currency swap agreement since they agreed to cooperate closely to develop the foreign exchange market, according to experts on Monday. But the statement does not specify how the cooperation will be carried out in the foreign exchange market. Accordingly, remains uncertain if talks will begin to resume a currency swap agreement that expired in December of 2021. So they're hoping, but we don't know. Fire engulfs warehouse, 134 people safely evacuated. I have no idea what that is. I keep hearing about an incident here locally. Apparently the S-Oil factories have had a bit of an issue. This is, by the way, my Chrome. If you're not on Chrome, you should get onto Chrome, yo. And you can see my wallet. Check out my wallet. There's nothing to hide because you can't steal it, man. I've got like 0.04 bat, baby, for watching advertisements. Anyway, S-Oil incident in Ulsan. The reason why Oh, there you go, yeah. What happened in Ulsan? S-Oil shuts processing units after 1 killed, 9 injured in blast. Accept cookies and continue. South Korea's third largest refiner may cut gasoline exports, further tightening supply in Asia. Oh, for Pete's sake. So we can expect, look at that, that's a nice fire. We can expect gas prices going up. Like this is like global, what you may call it? Global control manipulation, man. The economy, look, it's just non-stop, one thing after another. Everybody was complaining about 2020 or 21. You know, 2022 is turning out to be even worse than the previous 2 years, man. And like somebody said on Twitter, I think, let's go back to 19. Can we go back to 1999? 2019. Also in South Korea's S-Oil Corporation, Saudi Aramco's refinery unit in South Korea has shut some of its production facilities in a move that will tighten gasoline supply further in Asia after a blast at its refinery complex on Thursday killed 1 and injured 9 others. An explosion at the refinery's alkylation unit at Onsan Industrial Park in Ulsan, 414 kilometers southeast of Seoul, at approximately 8:50 p.m. local time during the startup process after maintenance work, according to S-Oil. Probably some drunk ajishi. Hey, Neil is in. What's up, Neil? Thanks for swinging by. I'm just talking about an explosion that happened here in Ulsan on Thursday. 1 person killed, 9 injured. And we're expecting to see prices jump up again, gas prices. The shutdown is expected to tighten gasoline supply further in Asia, as S-Oil is a major fuel exporter in the region, fuel market participants said. So that sucks. It sucks more so for the people, for the dude who passed away and those that are injured. And apparently, I don't know, I heard rumors that one of our students' dad was missing, but I have no idea what's happening there. So, right, okay, so that's why I pulled this out and then I was going to find the Ulsan thingy and I got sidetracked, but there's a fire that engulfed a distribution center run by Gulf apparel brand Crease SFC Monday, but all people inside were safely evacuated. Okay, well then no problem, there's just a bunch of crap that got burned. Who needs Gulf anyway? Moving on. Korea joins US and other in condemning Russia for Ukraine invasion. Fantastic. So now there is a bunch of people pointing fingers at Russia, and Russia just doesn't give a shit, man. They just keep doing their own thing. Korea, the United States, and 5 other countries on Monday condemned Russia for its invasion of Ukraine and the latest diplomatic pressure on Moscow to end the unprovoked war of aggression. Funny thing is, well, I don't know if it's funny, but not funny, haha, but like, you know, disturbingly funny. You know, everybody's condemning Russia and saying how, you know, you're bad, Russia, Putin, you're such a bad man. But nobody dares to send military support or whatever. If this was Iraq, man, there would be no hesitation, right? Have you seen the Freudian slip that, what's his face? Former President Bush just had a little while ago in his attempt at condemning Russian invasion of Ukraine. Let me just find it here. If you haven't seen it, you will see it. It's quite interesting how the Freudian slip occurred. Where is it? DVD. Oh, our chat's so busy. Oh, there it is. Okay, we'll get a stop. Tootly-two. Here we go. Bush on Twitter.
Russian elections are rigged. Political opponents are imprisoned or otherwise eliminated from participating in the electoral process. The result is an absence of checks and balances in Russia and the decision of one man to launch a wholly unjustified and brutal invasion of Iraq. I mean, of Ukraine. Iraq, too. Anyway.
Anyway, forget it, man. Don't worry about
75.
Man, next thing, this guy's gonna he's gonna do some stand-up comedy. That was funny shit. Neil says, the party's over, buddy. Virus, war, fuel shortages. Next up, transhumanism, alien invasion, no choco pies. Have you not heard of the monkeypox, man? Transhumanism is already here, buddy. That's already happening. So, yeah, we're in stage wherever 4. I think nukes are not even... not gonna affect anything or anybody. It's just gonna be straight up to transhumanism. Alien invasion, I think we've already been invaded, right? That's just kind of like under wraps for now, but it's coming. So anyway, Russia's war in Ukraine has destabilized the global economy and global supply chains and caused a rise in food insecurity and volatility in energy markets. The 7 countries which also included Australia, Canada, Chile, Japan, and New Zealand also urged Russia to immediately cause its use of force and completely and unconditionally withdraw all of its military forces from Ukraine. We condemned in the strongest terms the unprovoked war of aggression by Russia against Ukraine, the 7 countries said in a joint media release a day after two-day APEC trade ministers. They also expressed grave concern at the deterioration in rating humanitarian situation, and at the threat of food and energy security in the world caused by Russia's actions, man. So yeah, again, but nobody's stepping up. There is no military going into Russia and causing havoc. No, nobody would dare. If this was Iraq, man, that would be that. You know, they'd be chasing for weapons of mass destruction in a country that's, without proper infrastructure and stuff. But Russia, oh my goodness, you bad Putin, you're not doing stuff. No choco pies. My God, can you imagine a world without choco pie? The 15th World Forestry Congress ends. So this, we're going into bushes. We're going into, this is going to be the last leg of this podcast, okay? This is like a funny inconsistency of the Korean experience. I have no idea what that sentence means. Don't worry about it. The 15th World Forestry Congress ends. Why is this here? Man, wait, because this is messing up with my flow, yo. Look at that. Something's happening. I gotta tell you, oh, bollocks. I lost it. Anyway, there was an article I saw something on clean air. Oh yeah. Korea's what was it? What were they going to do? Something about clean air. Clean air in Korea, and literally a couple of days later, this article popped up. CO2 emissions dropped as a result of shit's disappearing on me, man. CO2 emissions dropped as a result of COVID, fewer planes and all that stuff, so things were good, and literally, you know, that lasted for like barely a month. The article was released saying that Seoul issues the first ozone warning this year. So we had very nice 2 years, and literally a month before this article there was another article saying how great things are, and now all of a sudden, a month later, man, it all went down the drain. Everything's down the drain. So Seoul was the first, its first ozone warning of the year take effect Monday in most parts of the city. The Seoul city government said the warning was issued at 2 p.m. as ozone density in the 21 districts of the city was between 123 and 137 parts per million ppm. 4 other districts were excluded, it said. So there you go. We're getting also hit with ozone layer problems. Government to launch money back policy for returned used cups. That's pretty good. So cool. So if you're, because there's like the plethora of cups and the lack of giving a shit about cups is just phenomenal. The number of cups I see floating about next to our house, here and there and everywhere. Let me just switch over here because I think I lost my, where is it? Oh, there it is. Okay, I just pulled it up, man. I'm sleepy. Me so sleepy. I no comprehendo what is happening. All right, so yeah, so this is a cool thing. Yeah, the government is launching this assault on payback for used cups, so that people, people are being incentivized to return cups rather than toss them in front of my Hagwon van in the corner for grannies and grammies to pick it up in the morning, as they do every morning. It's usually the bloody high schoolers, man, who are doing this. To reduce single-use waste and save resources in the country's efforts to fight the climate crisis, the government is launching an app to reward people for returning single-use cups after they're done with them. I think this is kind of to add to the salary of all the box pickers that are picking boxes and are doing such a fabulous job of picking up all the boxes and clean up the mess that the high schoolers and all the other people who don't give a hoot about how clean the cleanliness of this nation. They're doing a very good job picking a lot up. So now they're going to have another incentive. They'll be able to cash in on cups and such, which also means prices are going to go up. Yeah. So we'll be paying more. I mean, you'll be paying. I don't drink shit from Starbucks because that's just overpriced garbage, which I can make better coffee at my house by myself. But if you are one of the fine people who are enjoying these beverages, then you'll be able to get yourself a deposit provided, which means, well, first you'll be invited to pay 301 more or 24 cents more per cup, and of course if you are willing to return that cup, then you will get yourself 301 back. The app is available at Google Play Store and Apple's App Store. There you go. So basically, I guess any cup. Let's see. With each cup returned, the app pays patrons back a resource circulating deposit worth 301. Man, I don't know. That's 3 cups. That's like 1,001. Basically, 4 cups. It's 1,401. I'm pretty sure I see tons of these cups circulating, flying around our Hagwon on a regular basis and just around neighborhoods, man. Yeah, so that's fantastic. So this article came out, let me see, when was that? This was on the 5th, and on the 21st, the Korea postpones disposable cup deposit system for 6 months. They were going to do it, but then a month later they decided no. Kind of like there was clean air, but then a month later it wasn't so clean anymore. And cups, but then maybe not. So the government has postponed the launch of a disposable cup deposit system for 6 months until December in the face of opposition from business owners and the ruling Conservative Party. Because why would business owners want to support this nonsense, having to pay back money that they collect to begin with? I mean, you just add the 301 on top and then you have to pay it back. I guess they fear that people will be bringing in cups that are not from their making. It could just be very simple. You see, there's a barcode and you've got your name for the coffee shop. You get that going, and those are the only things you expect. And you contribute to the better good. You contribute to the cleanliness of the environment. You keep the ozone layer and the ozonites safe and healthy. The world is happy, but that ain't happening. Neil says, I take my own cup. I take my own cup. Helps the environment. Also take my own drink in it. Exactly, man. I've got like tumblers tumbling around my house like tumbleweeds, man, because every occasion, every Teacher's Day, whatever, I get tumblers thrown at me by parents, and all of them are from Starbucks without fail. And out of the 15 odd ones that I have, literally there is only one that I really enjoy, and I use that on a daily basis because it's the coolest. Prior to that, I had one from Uniqlo, which was also the coolest. It was a free tumbler. I never bought a tumbler in my entire life. It was a free tumbler, but it was a small one. Now the Starbucks one, the gifted one, perfect. And the other ones are there as kind of reserves of backups. And yes, indeed, I do the same thing, Neil. I do the same thing, Neil. I make my own coffee. I don't drink that overpriced shit at Starbucks. But for those who do, no offense meant, it's your predisposition, your choice of how you spend your money. So why are they pushing it back? We will grant a grace period considering that small and mid-sized businesses suffering from shutdowns due to the COVID-19 pandemic need time to recover. The Environment Ministry had planned to implement the new policy June 10th, mandating consumers to pay a 300 won deposit when they buy a drink in a single-use cup. They can get the money back when they return the used cup. So how is this a problem for businesses? Again, if customers have to pay, customers have to pay, what's going on? Have to pay an additional 300 won, so you get yourself coffee for whatever it is there at Starbucks, 6,000 won for one cup of coffee, plus 300 for the cup deposit, and then you have to pay that 300 back when you receive a cup. I don't understand. How are businesses losing money? Whatever. Korea also pledges increased support for reforestation in developing countries. It is a very big move. Korea said basically that they're going to help out countries to plant a bunch of trees because Korea's got the experience of doing that after World War when it was decimated and everything was burned to the ground into ashes. And so that's what happened. Luckily, this a few days later still stands. So the first article was, when was it? Let's see. This was on the 2nd of May, and then 4 days later, or updated 6 days later, still standing, still okay. That's one thing that Korea hasn't changed its mind on. Good to see. South Korea to accept rapid antigen test results for international arrivals. So apparently PCR tests are no longer required. South Korea will accept rapid antigen tests for people boarding a flight to Korea and entering the country starting on Monday, the country's health authorities said. Under the new entry rule, arrivals with a rat. I thought carrying pets on the plane was forbidden. Now we're carrying rats. Alrighty. The rat results, however, must have been conducted under professional supervision. Results from self-test kits will not be accepted, the government noted. So you gotta do it. You can also do PCR tests, and you've been given up to 3 days. So you no longer need the PCR test. You can have the rat tests. I don't know what the rat tests are. I guess maybe they're faster, maybe cheaper. The reason why we're doing the rat tests, you might think that it's a lenient, but it seems like there is a problem with getting the PCRs, man. It seems like, although they are made in more than 30 countries, around half of the 300 odd products available come from China. And according to FIND, a medical charity, in December, the Australian Financial Review, a newspaper, reported that a number of local importers suffered delays because of holdups in Chinese customs. So basically, the world is not able to receive enough supplies of PCR. That's why we're switching over to the RTA. It's not because the governments are providing us with like leniency or, you know, things are shifting. They're just not able to monetize on the PCR tests any longer because they don't have enough supplies. Also, the governments seem to be coming up with like bizarre ways of offloading the responsibility of getting these PCR tests onto smaller businesses and pharmacies, which makes it difficult for them to get all that stuff. In response to price rises over Christmas, Australia added rapid antigen test to its Biosecurity Act, which bans price gouging, defined as resale for more than 120% of the purchase price, and most experts. The government had also promised to cover most of blah blah blah. President Joe Biden, meanwhile, has told American. Wait, I found. Where is it? No, is this it? And the government seemed to be making it a little bit hard for businesses to actually like to have these PCR tests available. They push the responsibility onto the pharmacies, and then pharmacies have to repay something back. I don't know. It seems to be very convoluted, and I guess it boils down to the fact that they can't get a hold of these tests anymore because China is blocking all the exports. You know, supply chain crisis. So yeah, that's really it. That's it for the podcast, peeps. Neil, what up, man? How are things? I hope you're doing well. Make sure to smash up the likes. Push that button. Thanks for tuning in. If this is your first time, if you're watching this after recording, then again, make sure to smash up the likes. Subscribe to the channel, and check out the crypto market updates channel as well, because stuff's happening there. And other than that, I will see you next week in the next podcast. Wait a minute, I need my outro tunes. Where is outro tunes here? Okay. Here's the outro. Here I outro exit. Have a good night on the 23rd of May. We'll see you next week on the 30th of May. Yeah, that's all I gotta say. Peace.